Welcome, everybody. It's Mr. Parlove, the Realtor, coming at you with another episode of From Idea to Reality. Today's guest is Mr. Jeremy Bangba, owner and founder of K&B Home Inspections. I want to thank you for your time today to interview you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, can you tell us a little bit about your home inspection?
Yeah, so I've been a licensed builder for 26 years. I had a construction company, flipped over 100 properties for the government, and had a bad fall probably a little over 8 years ago, and decided wanted to use my brain instead of my brain in my body.
So that's good. So, how long have you been doing inspections?
Going a little over 8 years now. I've been doing inspecting,
That's
and
good.
it's a lot of fun. I love looking at different homes and finding problems with homes, and hopefully not finding problems with homes.
Right. So, how did you come up with the idea or the name for your company?
It's actually named after my daughter. So my daughter is Cambria Nicole Bangma, and so the KNB was after her. And my construction company is KNB Construction.
That's a great idea how that came about. And I always wondered that, but I
Yeah,
guess now is the time for me to ask you because I never asked you that. So that's
and I
pretty
got the
neat.
little bald guy because that's most of the time I shave my head all the way down.
Right. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, about how many homes do you think you have inspected over the years?
Oh shoot. I'd say probably at least 1,000,
Yeah.
probably, or more.
Right.
Yeah, it's been quite a few.
Yeah, I bet
Quite a
probably
few.
you lost count. You've been doing so many of them.
Yeah,
You said it's been 8 years.
a little over 8 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So what'd you do before that?
Construction.
Construction.
Yeah, I had my construction company, and
Yeah, that's right. You did
Yep.
mention that.
yep, and did that
Yeah.
for. I've had that for about 26 years.
Okay, and then that's when you ended up switching gears to becoming an inspector.
Yep.
Okay. So my next question is going to be, because a lot of people don't know this about certifications and how it is, with inspectors. You're certified, correct?
Well, I'm better than certified. I'm a licensed builder. So certifications, even in the state of Michigan, mean nothing to the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan doesn't have any regulations when it comes to being an inspector. But I'm a licensed builder for my construction company and a personal builder's license.
Okay, that's some good information.
So that's a step up.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so if there was anything you could tell somebody that's starting a business or just started a business, what would your advice or?
I don't give up. Don't give up. When I started my construction company, there's a lot of builders out there, a lot of people remodeling, and I just would not give up. I kept on going out, meeting new people, finding new clients, and the jobs I did were top notch. So word of mouth just started carrying, and I was super busy with construction. Then I got hooked up with the government back in 2008, and that was the most amazing thing for me because I was flipping repossessed homes.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Then you probably met a lot of contacts that way,
Yeah, a lot of
like
realtors
networking
and
and stuff. That's actually how you and I had met. I was man, it's been a while now. What
yeah, I was actually on
2021
an
or
inspection.
something?
You walked up, you were showing the
Yeah,
house.
showing the property to a couple I helped,
Yep.
and
And I handed you a card, and I was like, "Hey, man, let's connect."
yeah, and ended up giving him a call, and he's done a few inspections for me.
Yeah.
Great job. He does pre-im inspections too, so that's a good thing. It kind of helped me out in what I do. I kind of would get a leg up using that system. That way, I was able to waive inspections, but I'm not going to give away all my secrets.
No, you don't want to do that. 'Cause
Right.
There's too many realtors out there that will try to steal your info.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
that's pretty funny. But yeah, like that was some good advice that you gave, and everybody that I've had so far on here seems to have pretty good concept of giving information and never giving up.
Right.
They also mention other things, but that's to me, that's like the key thing is to never give up. Because
Yep.
as I mentioned before, it's always days I want to give up and you know just throw in the towel. But you think of how far you came or the stuff that you did to get where you're at, and
Yep.
then you're like, I got to keep it moving. And then things that are things that have a great outcome is going to be hard to get to the outcome because it's basically worth it. So
It's not easy, but
yeah,
it's rewarding.
yeah, definitely. Um,
I love being my own boss.
yeah, but you got to hold yourself accountable too,
I
though, because
do.
you could
Yeah,
end up
absolutely.
slipping through the cracks.
You can't sleep in until noon every day
and
and think that you're going to
disappearing.
make money.
Right. So my next question for you would be if you could go back and tell your younger self some advice or some words, what would that be?
I would probably say I don't know. I made a lot of good choices. I would have probably snatched up a few more properties back in the day when the market was really down.
I heard like back, this was way back in the day, but you could buy houses for like $7,500.
Yeah.
Like I think that had to been back in the 50s or something like that.
No, but there were times because like I think it was 09 or 2010. There was a house in Holland on the south side, and my dad, was down in Texas, but my dad and I were thinking about investing in that, and we could have gotten it for $18,000. And right now, it would be selling over $200,000.
That's crazy.
I mean, it needed a lot of work.
Yeah, but
I mean, somebody had taken and just dug a hole in the basement into the dirt, and then just put a pallet over top of it with a toilet hooked to it. That's what they're.
Man.
It was pretty gross. Needed a lot of work, but I could have picked it up for about 18 grand back then.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's also some good advice too. Like if you own a home or some property, the value will always increase. And you got to take care of it too, though. Keep it maintained. But that's basically an investment, and over the years you build that equity, and you could sell it, or you could take from the equity and use that money to fix the house up, go on a trip, or do whatever you want to. So,
well, I see people all the time. I'll be when I'm out inspecting, I'll drive past homes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, man, why aren't you guys taking care of that?
Yeah,
it's in bad shape, and it's going to get worse. I mean, maintenance is always the top thing you should do to a home. And what I tell people too, especially in this market, a lot of people flip out about the interest rates. Man, if you're paying rent right now, you're paying 100% interest rate. Right now at 7%, you're doing a lot better than 100%.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can get a house, because you're going to do well when you have a house.
Then you could always refinance when the rate gets a little lower. But
I saw something that I think it was in 1971. Interest rates were around 7%, and then they didn't go down lower than that until the 90s. So you would have still been paying rent for 20 years, waiting for that rate. It's like, man. But if you're renting,
and then
contact this guy.
Right. And then also one more tip I'm gonna leave with them as well is when you rent and you move out,
you got nothing.
Yeah. And you move out your house.
I live there.
You could come up,
Dude, look at this check I got for selling my house.
Yeah. But and before we go, I know you're a little bit more on the old school side. Just tell them where they could get a hold of you besides word of mouth.
On Facebook, KN, the initials K as in Kyle, N as in Nancy, B as in boy, home inspection on Facebook. And my cell phone is 616-886-1012.
Well, yeah, and then also you can get a hold of me too if you're ever looking to get a hold of Jeremy, but he left his information on there for you, and I'll put it out there as well.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for your time today.
Absolutely.
And is there anything you think we might have missed or anything else you might want to say?
Don't be afraid of the market, people. Don't be afraid of the market.
Yeah.
Houses always go up in value. You know, it's an investment.
Yeah, definitely
It's
is.
a lot better than renting. I'll tell you that. Oh yeah, I'll say one thing. So I have a friend who has been renting for the same amount of time that I've owned my house,
Hmm.
and we figured it out. He spent over $214,000 in rent.
Man.
Okay, so 26 years he's been renting the same place.
Dang.
$214,000 he's paid in rent.
Mm.
Now, when I walk away from my house, I have a check for minus, realtor fees and whatnot.
Then if you
But I
own
have
a
a check in
mortgage,
hand where he has nothing. He can just say, "Oh, I lived there for 26 years."
man,
So
that's crazy.
don't be afraid of the market.
Right. All right. We're gonna leave it at that for
Yeah.
y'all to think of. But thank you again,
Yeah, you're
Jeremy. I
welcome,
really
buddy.
appreciate it.
Absolutely,
And
man.
it was good seeing you.
Good seeing you too.
All right.
Have a great day, guys.